I love my husband, but my life feels lighter without him. You guys, that's a very deep sentence. And I feel like this sentence, it holds a lot of pain. It holds, in fact, more pain than anybody can understand. Because when a woman says this or that, it doesn't mean that she really wants to leave her marriage. It means that she's just tired of carrying the whole weight of her marriage on her shoulder, on her back, and all that. And that is the case of a lot of women nowadays. You guys, women are no longer interested in marriage. I thought it was just men. But when I saw a post, I'm going to be leaving a few comments that was written or were written by ladies, women, specifically women that have been in marriages, and older women that have been in marriages for a particular number of years, and they're like, they're done, they've tasted it, and marriage is not worth it because they carry the weight of the whole marriage on their shoulders. And it's actually very painful because these women self are not the women that they're not African women. I didn't see this under African setting or an African woman video or whatsoever. It's actually in the Western world. I used to feel like it was just not, in our it's our African tradition to be like a wife that does a lot in our home, and at the end of it all, it's not just that's just the point. Of It's not only in Africa; it's everywhere. The women, majority of women, carry the load of the marriage on their backs. You guys, this statement that this lady made, she loves her husband, but her life feels lighter without him. I'm sure that a lot of women can actually relate to it. It's a powerful statement. And I just want us to like dive into this statement, explore what would make a woman say that. Why would she love her partner but say that life feels lighter without him? And is that love? Is that what we classify as love? And is it what marriage should feel like for majority of us women? I can relate to this statement. I know that I have come on here to say that at some point in my marriage, I felt like I was doing more than I can do, but I stopped. And that is it. Why are women still doing more than they can do? Why are they carrying more load than they can carry in marriages? Why don't you just stop? Why don't you just communicate with your partner? Or have you communicated these things with your partner and they don't seem to budge and you're just tired of communicating and just, pouring water on, how do they put that proverb? Pouring water into a basket or something like that. What does it just feel like to make this kind of statement? Let's put ourselves in this woman's shoes. Why would a loving wife, I mean, feel relief in her husband's absence? And the first point is this emotional labor. I mean, a lot of wives or women, many women in marriages today actually carry their own emotions. They carry the emotions of their partners, they carry the emotions of their children, and it's just a lot. I mean, she becomes the peacekeeper, the emotional support, everything like the planner, the every she just becomes everything. And over time, it just feels like she'll stop being a partner and you're practically being the man's lifeline. Like without you, he can't do nothing. That is the situation of a lot of women in marriages today. Yes, I mean, he's the one that gets to rest, and she is the one that gets to stay strong for the whole family, for himself, and for the children. And it's just a lot. It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. And before you know it, being alone will now become lighter for her, like she implied, and a lot of other women. It's not just this post that I saw. A lot of other women complain about this whole thing. Why is it the case with a lot of marriages? Why do the women have to be the ones to bear these things Why? Or do you just feel like the need to do that as a woman because you saw your mothers do it? I have said that I saw my mom do that. My mom is a strong woman. I mean, she had 6 children. I have three, and I feel like that is my limit. I can't compare my strength with my mom's strength. So at some point in my marriage, I was doing all that, and I said, no way. Have you communicated these things with your partner before you conclude that? Okay, because sometimes, most of the time, these men, they feel like, I don't know if they actually just tend to ignore these things intentionally, or really they don't know what you're going through. So you need to voice out your feelings. It's after you voice out your feelings to your partner and you see his reaction that you now know the type of partner that you have, because you don't just conclude that your partner is not being sensitive to your emotions if you have not communicated. Then there is the mental load. I mean, a lot of women, our minds are racing, especially when you have kids in that marriage. Like, there's an endless to-do list. What are the kids eating? What's my partner thinking? How do I keep my home together? It's just a lot of things going on in our mind. It's like our brains cannot breathe until your partner is away, because I don't know, there's just this energy that comes, that men come with, and we as ladies, we feel the need to prove to them. I think it's a woman thing. I don't think these men, especially when you're in a good marriage, I don't think, I don't know, I just don't know. I can't really say, I can't really judge, but there's an energy, because I know people in good marriages that say, okay, when my husband is not around, they are in good marriages. When my husband is not around, I can finally chill, I can finally breathe. In fact, there was a marriage counselor that I listened to one time, and she was like, it's like when her husband is around, she's not thinking what she's not thinking, except he goes out and he travels and she's happy, and so that she can just mentally function well. And I can relate some sort of way, even though my life is not lighter without my husband. There's no way my life will be like what do you mean by that? It doesn't, even though I can relate with her, it doesn't bring me to the point where I make this statement that my life feels lighter without my husband. And I love him. Do you really love him? Are you really? I know that women still stay in marriages like this. But is that love? Is that a good marriage? Or do you think that women just do too much when nobody asks them? Sometimes the husbands are not the bad men, they're not bad. And it's just because he might not really see how much she, the wife, seems to hold it all together. That's just the problem. These men don't really see. You just have to be the one to use your sense. As a woman, you don't put more on yourself, more than you can bear. I mean, God doesn't do that for us. So why will you do that for yourself? I said it like house chores or taking care of children or doing everything around the house. It's not, if you can't handle it, leave it. I had to make it like a New Year resolution for me. I think it was last year or this year, that I'm not going to stress myself to that level again. No, no way. Especially when you're in a household or in your marriage where your partner doesn't really support you as regards that aspect, you know, doing the whole house chores at home and what have you. My dear, leave it alone. That's not what makes you a wife. I mean, these are not the qualities that make you a wife. You guys, men don't really want a hard working, any man that tells you I want a hard working one that you use and finish with work, please run away from that man, because I know that men don't want, it's not about you being strong or whatever. They don't want you to be masculine. They don't want you to carry all that load on yourself. They want a happy wife. Yes, they want you to be happy no matter what you're doing. If doing all those chores make you happy, then go ahead, be fine. But they just want you to be happy. Are you happy doing that? If you're not happy doing that, then leave it alone. Leave it alone. If you can't pay for help or do outsource all these things, leave them alone and you will be just fine. There are a couple of things that I leave. I don't stress myself that much, you guys, because it's not worth it. That's not what marriage is all about. Because these women now are depicting So they are painting a kind of picture in their head and making people believe, or women, younger women believe that that is what marriage is all about. That's not what marriage is all about. It's not all about you doing house chores from the beginning or taking care of the man, an adult. I mean, that's not what it's about. And for the men, I mean, you can always try to love your wife in the way that, I don't know, that just sort of lightens her load. Because most of the times, me, my love language is act of service. When you help me do stuff, I'm happy. I just feel, so just try to help her. Sometimes, especially stay at home moms, it's not easy. We're not just chilling. So you don't just ignore your wife and feel like everything is fine. Over time, that's why you see marriages when they're just done raising the kids. Most of the time, 80% of the time, is the women that just check out and say they're done. At that point, the man really needs the woman more. But the women are like, I'm done. I'm done raising my kids. I can't do this any longer. I saw a video yesterday about a woman that was married from her 20s way into her 40s. That's about 20 something years. And she said her kids have grown and she's done. I'm like, what happened? Obviously, these kind of things come to play. She feels like that whole weight should just be lifted off her. But that's not what marriage is. That's not what marriage is. I don't want you guys to get it wrong. Then there is a silence in marriage. Sometimes this communication just dies. I mean, especially when you have a wife that keeps complaining, and keeps complaining, and it doesn't change anything for you. Like as a man, I don't know, maybe you just term her as a nagging wife. These are the issues. These are the issues. This is what is making women feel like they are done with marriages. But I just want to say that it is not what marriage should be like. So when she's exhausted at the end of it all, she says, nah, I'm done. I'm done. Like done for good. Because she's been suffering quietly. I mean, you guys, husbands, you can do better. I mean, if you're a husband watching this, I don't know, you can just ask your wife what she needs at some point in time. I know you guys do good. Fair enough, yeah. You're providing for the home, you're doing all of that, but just try, communicate with your partner. The fact that she's silent as a woman doesn't mean she's okay. Ask her, are you looking at her reactions, at her emotions? That's one thing I love about my husband. My husband is not perfect, but when it comes to my emotions, he knows when I'm not happy, when I'm sad, and he asks. Just try and ask your partner, your wife. Let her not check out of the marriage. Let her not be, don't wait until she's emotionally gone from that marriage. Because when a woman is emotionally gone, I tell you for a fact that she's gone. There is no changing her mind. That's why you see, sorry to say, most times widows, people that their husbands have been laid to rest or whatever, they don't tend to remarry because they feel it's not even worth it. Marriage is not, it's just more stress than gain on their side. But you see a lot of widowers remarrying because really, if you want to weigh it all, women most of the times actually give more than the men. I heard a celebrity complaining, okay, when he was sick in the hospital, like he was almost at the verge of dying, and the woman was by his side, and you were still passing all your aggression towards your wife for the fact that he couldn't stand up, he couldn't walk, he couldn't do a lot of things. He just passed all this aggression towards the wife that was the one taking care of him. I mean, he's well now, he's just the one giving the testimony, but it makes me wonder if the wife was in such situation, how many men would stand by their wives? How many? How many? I don't see cases like this all the time. It's mostly the women in the hospitals taking care of these men. It's not a bad thing. Of course, marriage is for better for worse, and till death do you part, or what did they say? You should take care of your spouse, but are you going to reciprocate the same energy if it's your wife in this situation? If you're a wife feeling like this, you're not crazy, you're not heartless, you are not even asking for too much. I mean, you just want a partner because you might not just want somebody else to take care of, which is okay. I mean, you want a partner, it's not too much to ask for at all. Because when your life starts feeling lighter without your partner, it means the relationship has just stopped giving and it has only started taking from you, and now you might be empty. I can understand you when it comes to that, but I just hope you have communicated these things with your partner, because a closed mouth is a closed destiny. You don't just assume that these men know what's up. I love myself because the moment I'm feeling some sort of way, I am saying it. I'm voicing out how I feel, because I know that this thing is for better, for worse. I know that I can't live all my life in misery. It's not possible. So, and I will be the one at fault. I just hope you have communicated, because sometimes we as women, we just feel like we got this, and until we explode in the end, it's not healthy. And that's not what marriage is. That's not what marriage is like. I tell you for a fact. I mean, no wife should feel like her peace comes when her husband is not there, when her husband leaves the room. I mean, what? Let me know in the comments. What do you think feeling lighter means? What do you think that this woman means with her statement? Does she really love her husband and she'll make that sort of statement? I don't know. I don't know. I get her, but I don't feel like she loves her husband to make that kind of statement. Yeah, she's just at the breaking point. And I honestly feel for her. What do you think? What do you think? I want to know. I want to know. So that's the reason why a lot of women have given up on marriages now, because they don't want, they're done. They're done. I thought it was only men. Apparently, my gender that I thought that love this marriage thing so much, they have given up. They are giving up and they have given up. It's okay. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Yes, that brings me to the end of my video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in another episode. Okay, bye. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Yeah.